Hello, and welcome back to the world of Arklands and to Mize Academy. When we last left our heroes in training, they began their preparations for the Flags of Arix, where their team is one of the leaders of a student versus student game of Capture the Flag.
I don't know what idiot made that decision, but okay.
Going up against the team that has quickly become
Bitches.
their rivals.
They always were.
You proceeded to gather as many allies as you could, as quickly as you could.
Yep. And we succeeded for the most part.
And you did. And with 3 teams on your side,
So far.
making 4 total, and 3 more potential ones on your list to try and recruit. That is where we return for tonight's episode.
Nice.
Are you waiting for me to pull up the list again?
Yes, I am. I'm waiting for you to tell me who I wanted to go get.
Gotta figure that out.
Yeah, I didn't take notes last time.
I did, but I don't know.
I took notes for the first half of the session about the break-in. But
Stop coming up with Elle's new hairdo. Jeez.
It's a nice hairdo.
Okay, so we've got Kaio Team B.
I figured Ari would like it.
Yep.
We've got
A car team A and B.
a car Team A and B. Okay.
Yep.
They have
Serata team
Serata Team A.
A. And you don't know who else they have beyond that.
Okay.
Hopefully they don't have anyone.
I did base it on rolls, and I did some of that and I've got contingencies depending on where you go, and so what they have done was decided between sessions,
Okay.
mostly up to dice rolls.
Okay.
Dang it, we have a limited number of options. We can't outthink him here.
Well, we did our part of recruiting some people, so...
What if we do something
So,
totally unexpected?
speaking of House Naira,
I want to go
Team
recruit
A.
one of the teachers.
I don't.
I don't think teachers are allowed to... Well, they never said they were.
They didn't say they
As
weren't.
I described earlier, a student versus
Dang it.
student.
What about
We can get
alumni?
Greg. True. We can get Greg to go, hello, fellow kids.
The
Grave Buscemi.
the teachers, those that are not actively teaching. By the way, y'all are the only ones that get the next 2 weeks off for this. Everyone else attending the school is still in classes and doing their own missions and all that kind of stuff. And the teachers that are not in classes at the time will be essentially proctors, referees, making sure, there's always, someone accidentally gets killed because an accident happens, like what happened in the first week.
Yep.
Let's make sure there's a teacher nearby that doesn't have to worry about conserving spell slots. So they will be interspersed throughout the city to ensure the game is played within the established rules.
Makes sense.
Because there are hardline rules that have been established, and there are consequences to breaking them.
I need to know the full scope of the rules. Is there a jail? Is there a breaking out of jail rule? Are there...
Nah, knock them out.
All right.
Don't kill.
Obviously.
There's not a...
Can I go get a dragon?
If you can convince a dragon to be on your team, good luck.
You gotta find one in town.
You crazy, man.
Also, I don't know
Wait,
if the
we have a
citizens of
dragon on
Arix
our
would be the most open to that, considering that, as Ari did research on it, the history of the town. Who was it, Ari that did research on that?
Yeah.
was that it was under draconic rule for like a good 2 centuries.
Get a little baby dragon.
Yeah, we'll get a little young metallic dragon.
Yeah.
Good luck. You want to spend your time doing that instead of preparing the teams on your side? Go for it.
Elle's not going to be talking to them.
I think Aerie will talk to Crow about doing some scouting for
Crow, yeah.
best places to put the flag on both sides of the battlefield so we can get an idea of where the other team might put their flag. As well as a good place to put yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does the flag need to be, I know traditional capture the flag rules is the flag must be visible on at least 3 sides.
You don't actually know.
Love it.
You have not been told.
Got it.
But okay, I'm going to make the process a little bit simpler. As opposed to doing it in character, the flag is.
Are we just rolling dice at the end of the day?
I mean, yes. What?
Go
The
ahead.
flag is a magic item.
Okay.
It projects it is quite shiny.
A new hand touches the beacon.
Honestly, not dissimilar to that.
Oh no!
It projects a holographic image of your, well, not holographic, a bright light of your team's color. It will be very visible.
Oh no!
It cannot be. There's like a certain radius, and
It's like the Reaper's chests and Sea of Thieves.
honestly, a little bit, yeah.
Is it a beacon or just a shining light?
Make it a beacon. Make it like a Minecraft beacon.
I think once it is removed from its original starting place, beacon goes up,
Okay.
and that will track no matter where it goes. Yes.
Can I have a cool sword at the end of this as a reward for winning? I want I want
because a new hand touches the,
yes,
the dawn blade. I see. Okay.
that would be perfect for Cass.
Can it
some
be
sort.
concealed by magical means?
Not easily.
Okay.
Oh, that means yes.
Can it be so? Can it be protected by something like Liamon's tiny hut, where it is blocked by magical means?
Will it fit in a bag of holding?
It has to be on the material plane.
Has to be on the material. Okay, so it cannot go in a bag of holding. That is also important for me
Can't
to know.
go in a
because
bag
I
of
have-
holding, can't go into a rope trick portal, can't go into portable hole. It has to be on the material plane. Can't take it to the ethereal.
Can I eat it?
It has to be reasonably accessible by the opposing team.
Okay.
That's not reasonable.
A locked door is still reasonably accessible. 'Cause-
Something like Lehman's tiny hut where you'd have to like dig underground would not be
or
reasonable.
if it requires a 3rd level spell slot in order to undo, that is no longer reasonable.
Fair enough.
All right. These are good things for me to have to
Yep.
strategize.
Can we make it really tiny and harder to grab?
What with like reduce?
Yeah.
How long does reduce last?
It's like a minute.
It is like a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Still, if you're
If you want to just
In a moment of
cast it on it,
Or rather, like in
Go
a
for
moment
it.
of conflict where people are converging
Yeah.
and trying to grab it.
it's more so in like a combat
I mean,
situation.
yeah, sure.
So it
Cool.
can be altered magically.
I mean, like anything else, sure.
All right.
Temporarily. You could cast that on a magical sword and it would work just the same, so.
Nice.
All
That was
right,
good to
all
know.
right.
Yeah. I'm going to say it has a 30-foot radius of light, so, like, you could put it under a bowl. The light is going to shine right through that bowl.
Dang.
So, it's like hiding the magic item, which is about, like, like
I have a great idea.
I have an idea.
Actually, I'm going to say instead of a like a
Plus.
sphere, it is like a rod. But yeah, it emits 30 feet of your team's light.
Use it as a weapon.
How big
Very
is it?
good.
You absolutely could use it as a weapon.
So it is like
There
basically
was, yeah.
quarterstaff or a spear.
Not quite quarterstaff, more like closer to like a baseball bat
Okay.
than a quarterstaff.
Okay.
And it's even then, a little bit smaller. It is more like the kind of like what's passed in a relay
Taking a
race.
pipe. Just finding a pipe.
Yeah, honestly.
So what you're saying is it's about the size of my leg.
It somewhat
Decoy.
similar to that, yes.
Make your leg a decoy.
Yup. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Or just
Your leg does not shine purple though.
oh.
Could he make it shine purple?
With alterations, but that could take time.
What's the other flag's color?
Wait a second. They don't know it doesn't shine purple. They don't know my leg isn't supposed to shine
You've
purple.
been back in school for a couple weeks.
I haven't activated it yet.
You've been. Oh.
That's true, but like they'll see a light. It could work. It would require a good roll,
Yeah.
but that is potentially possible. Theirs would shine yellow. So
Oh, okay.
yours would be I think it would be a lot easier to use your leg as a decoy for their flag.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Someone grabs it. My leg! Come back!
Yeah, because theirs would be yellow while yours is purple.
Okay. Very nice. Run around
Did you
there.
post the Hun, can you post the map to the town? Actually, no, it's not a long way to scroll.
Oh, you
I am so slow.
Yeah.
30
Art
feet
tab.
per round. I gotta move faster.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
So,
Same movement speed.
No, I don't. I got 35.
I think you were the only one that has a movement speed of 30 in the party.
I'm so slow.
So you had mentioned House Naira, that you want to go to Naira Team A first.
Yes, that's the one with Hope and
Yes.
Hero. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, when do you want do you want to immediately after you're done with
The other teams? Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, then
We're just going from team to team to team. This is the time right now we go pick everybody
then
up.
Amira is going to join you.
Oh,
Amira, the
okay.
dark skin with the dragon mark on her face.
Excellent.
Which team is she from again?
She is from
Akara Team B.
Okay, cool. Oh. Nice.
yeah. You approach them. They are in their tower. I think this would be. No, it's not your first time in Naira because you've been there. That's where I believe that's where the workout room is.
Ah.
It's very pretty. It's all like stained glass and like the aesthetics of the tower are very much like underwater palace vibes. The stained glass gives with the light shining through very much has the like light shining through the ocean on the ocean floor kind of thing. That's very
cool.
very pretty. And the elevators are water spouts. That you know how elevators in Minecraft are just you sink through water or get shot up?
Yep.
It's basically that.
Does it actually get you wet though?
Briefly.
What
But
if you're
there's-
an Enderman? What if you're hydrophobic?
Hydrophobic means you wouldn't get wet at all. Hydrophobic things
That is
don't
true.
get wet.
Okay, that's fair.
There is a condition for like people that can't touch water. But anyway, they're just like with House Serrata, how there's stairs built in addition to the portals, there are also such things built in. So accessibility is something consistently present, even if I sometimes forget to describe it. Anyway, Dusan kind of gives a big grin as he sees Amira walking up, and Hope and Raphael kind of just give you a little wave. Just Hero though is the one that steps forward, or not quite steps forward. He kind of hangs back a little bit with the others next to him. So I think it's pretty obvious what you're here for.
Well, yes, we need to
Did you want to play a game of ping pong?
What's ping pong?
I don't know. My dad played it, but it was fun. I had a good time. You have a little ball, and then you have like a thing in the center. I think it's a net, and then you have these little paddles that I got. He used to discipline me with one of them, but it was okay. You would take the little ball and you would hit it, and it would go wee. It was a lot of fun.
Which team is this?
Anyway,
House Naira TV.
thank you, Elle, for that brief snippet into your life.
You're welcome.
Yes, we are here to see if you would be willing to join us.
This is late.
Well, and he kind of looks around. Dusan and Amira are like basically having their own little conversation to the side, but he's just happy that she's there. Hope and Raphael are kind of a little bit withdrawn, but are kind of they kind of look at each other, look to Hero, and you see Raphael look at his sister, Veronica, and he kind of like steps to her side, and she kind of straightens up, squares her shoulders, and just, why should we do that?
Well, for one, you seem like you're more like-minded with us, and might enjoy kicking their butts. Honestly, if there is one team in our year that I really want to beat, it's them.
Hero kind of... go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh no, my dice are still in the... I got so
What a
absorbed with
shock!
I got so absorbed with the pizza earlier.
You need dice to play D&D.
Yes, I know. It's a classic. I'm always unprepared.
Aren't we all?
I've always been a bit of a procrastinator. Ugh. Gross.
Do you want
That
an
did not
inspiration?
roll very well. Let me see if I have one.
Yeah, it literally just kind of...
It just went... bump.
You gotta actually
like roll one side or
your,
what to
you
do?
gotta roll your dice, bro.
If I roll it, it rolls off.
Then roll it forward.
Don't you have a dice tray?
I do. Do you think I have room for it here?
Yes, I can see a spot, literally.
My dice tray is too big for that.
In between the cup and Ryan's.
That's too far.
Respectfully, you dumbass.
Respectfully, accepted. No, I do not have any inspiration.
I've got 3, so because I have one from last session still.
I mean, if you're willing to give me one,
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure anything's better than a 4, which is still being 11, but, you know.
Why are you making the...
There we go. 19.
He's also got charisma.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a +7.
Also, you weren't talking.
that's true.
Not in any helpful or constructive manner.
So just, break the ice. Like
No,
move.
yeah,
That'd be
and
fine.
it would have worked great with Team Kaio. Not as much here. They are kind of jerks. If you guys are okay with it, I am. Dusan just like, I'm for it. And there is a not slow but kind of gradually building sense of approval, and just, well, I think that's a pretty unanimous decision.
Very
Count us
good.
on your team.
Well, we already have half the year following us. We're off to a good start.
I think
Perhaps-
this is going to be a good time. I hope that we beat them. I definitely want to.
If we're lucky, we'll be able to have the manpower advantage.
Okay, so who's next?
It's Naira Team A.
Yep.
I'm having fun talking to
Here,
all the
you-
different teams. Y'all are...
Hero, do you have any recommendations for who we should go for next? We already have Oliver Carr.
Is there anyone that you all want to be on your team?
I mean, the other House Naira team is they've done well so far. Obviously have somewhat similar values, and I do know that Granite has a particular rivalry with Mackenzie.
I think that sounds like a good place to go.
Shall
we?
Do any of you want to come with us?
They kind of look. Hope and Raphael are very reserved. Veronica does not show a lot of interest. Hero is currently wrangling them, and Dusan is off in his own world. So
That would be a no.
I think you've got this, but if you do need us to do something, just say the word.
Appreciate it. Let's go. I assume they're in their room as well.
Yeah. So these guys would have been like in the lower levels of the tower, similar to where the cafe is in House Sarada.
Yeah.
House Naira has a sushi place.
Fish themed, I see.
Is there anyone on the team that we know that enjoys sushi? Potentially?
Which team?
Naira Team B.
I might be tempted by fish tacos.
You don't know a ton about them. That's one of the teams that you all have interacted with the least.
Okay.
That's Birdie, who's a cleric. Granite, who's the Echo Knight fighter. Zizik.
Granite also fought you on the bamboo.
Yep.
Yeah, he's the one who took me down.
Yep.
Right?
Granite was?
Yeah.
Nice.
Zizik, Bugbear.
Isn't
Bard.
Kitty in our class for athletics?
Kitty. Yep.
Yeah.
Is in your athletics class.
Yeah.
And then
My
Myra,
man.
who is the changeling monk.
Kiri and Elle kind of bonded in athletics. It's kind of funny.
Well, use that, I suppose.
So I'm gonna say to go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay.
No.
24.
24. When you guys find Naira Team B, Granite is, for lack of a better term, pouting.
Oh no.
He's kind of sitting backwards in a chair, arms crossed, head like down low.
Hey buddy, you doing okay?
Oh yes, I'm perfectly fine.
Oh good, okay. So
24. Even L knows that's sarcasm.
okay, good. I don't think that's the truth.
Really? What could have given that away?
Well, the way you said it, your body language, the look on your face.
Bodhi, there's another one. There's no reason that any of you as characters would know this, but he is referring to Eri as the first. And L as the... there's another
There's
one
another one.
of
Oh, good.
that style of speech.
I don't remember interacting with Granite at all.
He's seen you.
Oh.
You've been in the same rough area enough that he's just been like, okay.
Weirdos.
Yeah.
Was that the compliment?
Bodhi, who completely bald head and robes, just can we help you?
Well, we were hoping to talk with you about potentially joining our side in the escapade.
I see. I do regret to inform that we have been spoken for.
You went and accepted Mackenzie's invite.
Granite kind of just throws his hands up. Yep.
Ah, I get it.
I see it was not a unanimous decision.
It was the right decision.
How do you know?
Because to give someone a chance to improve is always a good thing.
Who says they can't improve being on the opposite team?
I think the best way for them to potentially improve is with those that can guide them in the right direction, being close at hand.
Being a good influence.
Indeed.
That is fair. They definitely need some good influence.
Most people do.
Preferred if they didn't kill any more of our classmates.
We all know that was an accident. A tragic accident, but an accident nonetheless.
An accident they didn't seem to care happened. That was what bothered me.
I'm gonna have Bodhi make an insight check. Because I want to see how much he was able to glean on that day. So it's very retroactive.
Let me just roll for this thing that happened 20 sessions ago.
It's okay. This is the first time this character's ever spoken on camera. So
That's
sure.
fair. That's fair.
Okay, with a
Every character is pliable until they first appear on screen.
basically, with a 23,
Oh, wow.
I think it bothered Red very much. As for the others, well, is there something to worry about if they knew that it would not be permanent?
I believe it's called a bedside manner.
While that is true, it is not a moral failing to lack one.
I suppose it's not a moral failure, but it's
And-
certainly not good.
I do not deny this. But that is something that can be taught.
Depends on whether or not they're willing to listen.
We won't know until we try.
Is there anything that we can do to make you reconsider?
I believe
Certainly appreciate it, but I am firm in my decision.
What about the rest of your team?
I believe in this point, if they've given their word, we should respect that. As much as I would like to have you on our team,
Another time.
perhaps.
Granite hears in his mind.
Okay.
I knew you were gonna do something like that. Or sometimes they need a good smack on the head to learn a lesson. Wink.
I like to think
It was
said
yes, exactly. It wasn't an actual wink. He just said wink.
Yep.
You do get a response as he kind of just
I thought they can't respond.
No,
they
they
can't.
can because of his magic item.
Okay.
Yeah.
You changed that.
He kind of puts his head down onto the chair and responds just psychically of I may not like it, but I'm gonna follow his lead.
Following his lead is not a bad thing. Just if, someone happened to make someone else trip at one crucial point, I don't think that would be too bad. Just think about it.
I'm gonna say make a persuasion check.
Okay. Dang.
Still 13.
I
Still have other
would.
teams
I
to
will
convince.
not.
The DC is gonna be high enough here. What's your persuasion mod?
11.
11.
Plus 11.
Yeah.
You don't have a high chance of getting it.
Oh, really? So it's got to be a natural 20?
No, it's probably like a 25 DC.
Ah, okay.
Because
Yeah.
he may not like being on the team, but he's still gonna fight for that team.
I'm
Right.
not going to use an
How many
inspiration
inspirations do I have
for.
left?
For one guy.
Well, not for
Save them for when
cheating.
the team's over. That's true.
It's not cheating.
Besides, there are.
Amy
let me
knows
put it
this.
this way: there are easier avenues for what you're looking for.
Yes.
It's fine.
Kakari.
Okay, cool. 13.
13. A nice thought. Good luck out there. Is a oh I wish, but no. Yeah. So what's your next stop?
Well, there's not many options left. They probably got the other House Muran.
You could
Which,
still make the effort of stopping by every team to at least show that you're
Well,
invested in them.
the question is, which ones would they have gone to first
Yeah.
and see?
It's a matter of outmaneuvering them at this point.
Is it kind of a thing where
We
no
might
one
not
can
be
switch
able
sides
to.
once they've picked a team?
They could in theory, but most teams that would be willing to swap sides probably wouldn't commit that early anyway.
That's true.
Like, so it's like someone could say like, those are some good points, we'll consider it, and they'll, but like,
So who's left?
I think it's just Kaio Team A.
Is that it?
and we're on team B.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just those two.
Do we know of any beef between the two Kaio houses?
Let me take a look and remind myself who's on those. No, they're competitive, but no specific beef. Like they have probably fought each other more times than any other team have fought each other, but not out of any animosity.
Okay.
It's very much a iron sharpens iron.
Okay. Oh, I have an idea. Then let's go to them next.
Okay.
Which team?
Kaio house, team A.
I'm gonna say, Cass, make me a persuasion check.
No, I make you a persuasion check. Okay.
No, not me.
Because you were talking to
Granted.
Granite.
Yeah, that's only a 11.
11 total.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Combined, that's a 24.
That's not
that's not how the game works.
I tried.
Yeah. So you can absolutely make your way to House Kaio.
I think once Cass, that was a fitting role because once Cass realized they had already been picked, he would have been like, okay, I respect it.
Oh, I was gonna push. I was
gonna push.
keep pushing the whole game. He's gonna be like during the actual
Match.
and match. Grant's gonna hear in his head, but do you really though? Come on, just a little bit, it's just one little stray fireball. That's all it takes.
So you make your way to House Kaio. And I will say. As you are crossing, because each tower is connected by a bridge, and as you are crossing into House Kaio, you do see Mackenzie's team leaving. They and Mackenzie kind of it's not his entire team. It would be Mackenzie himself and Elder and Red. So Whiskey and King are not there. Mackenzie just, and
Al keeps walking. Totally doesn't even acknowledge him.
well, glad to know that the intimidation is taking proper effect.
Is Cass standing there talking to him?
Yeah, Cass would stand and talk with him.
Turns around,
It's not intimidation.
grabs his arm. That's cool.
No,
Whatever you say.
Cass will ring free. Mackenzie,
Yes.
it's not intimidation. It's disgust.
Cass, we have to talk to the house. We don't need to talk to him.
Mackenzie,
You're welcome to.
why are you here? At the school. What drives you to be here?
You're actually asking that, aren't you?
I am. Just because I don't like you doesn't mean that we can't be civil.
Fair. It's my business, though. Not yours.
Good. Okay, let's go.
That is also fair. I hope it's a good reason. And Cass will continue on.
Notably, there are no more quips as he walks away.
Interesting.
I'll punch him again.
Unless you want to play it out and possibly try and convince, I will let you know. Kaio is
Already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that just leaves.
That just
We're on
leaves.
Team B.
Yep. Which I
Correct.
assume they've probably already.
I don't know
Probably
anyone
already.
on that team.
Go ahead and if you want to make just like a general perception check or insight to essentially you wouldn't have to go there necessarily. It's very possible that someone you're talking to has talked to someone that knows already.
22.
22? Yeah. They secured House Moran the other team on.
So they've got half and we've got half.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the first team that they secured.
I really want to try and get one of them to switch over.
Well, then you have to consider if the teams are uneven, the one with fewer people gets an advantage.
Well, with fewer teams.
Gets a handicap.
Yeah. And if you were to convince one team to swap, you would have 2-team advantage, which means that they would get 2 advantages, whatever that is. And they specifically did not state what those advantages would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could add a feature that might be
It could.
much worse
It could
than having
be
an extra team.
adding
I want to have a conversation with you.
Good luck finding her. She's out scouting.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
Elle is going to purposefully look for Crow.
Ari is also out scouting, I think, following
I think
Crow's lead on the ground.
I think you would have discussed, because you guys discussed this as players, you would know that once they were done recruiting the specific teams that they were sent to, Crow and Ari were going to go down into Eric's to scout out.
Yeah. Okay.
So, if you want to, you could go out and look for her during the day, or
Just
gotta
wait.
come back to sleep.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So I'll wait.
okay.
I'll wait until they're done doing their thing.
Castle takes some time to memorize maps of
Okay,
Eric's,
yeah.
though.
If you, like, there's the library in Serrata that has, not only, actually go ahead and make a investigation or history check.
Ooh, that was actually good.
Can we bring a map with us?
Yeah.
Or a few?
Ari brings a map and a
I don't think
notebook.
Crow needs one at this point, though.
Investigation
it
or
works
what?
out.
History?
Or history.
Okay, that's
Identifying
flat
names
20.
of
Flat 20.
classes.
You find not only a current map of Eric's, but a few previous ones from different time periods.
Nice.
Any tunnels in some of these?
Secret
The
bunkers.
catacombs.
Yeah, passages
I
we might
will
be able to take
say-
advantage of.
Secrets.
Secret tunnel.
Go ahead and make another investigation check.
Come on.
I want to give him bardic inspiration on this one.
Absolutely.
That'd probably be good.
D8
There it is.
because it's a skill check.
There we go. Unfortunately, that is still not very high, but that is a 14.
14. Okay.
Can you roll an 8?
I rolled an 8 on your die. I rolled a 4 on mine.
No.
I've been rolling really bad tonight.
We'll do better.
You don't find anything at this time. You could take another look later.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ari will be willing to help you with that.
Okay, cool.
Can I take a team of people to scout with me?
Okay. Who do you want to take?
Essentially all the people on our team who can fly.
Take
So
the Griffin lady.
Millicent, Amira with her Griffin steed.
Okay.
Who else do we have?
Good form of bond.
We
with
want
Amira.
to scout out both sides for the most optimal places to hide the flag. So that way we can get an idea of what the other team is going to be working with.
Yeah.
Ari does bring
I will
a
say-
map.
In terms of optimal, there's not going to be as much information I can necessarily give on that, because a lot of that comes down to is subjective.
I mean, that's fine, but we're looking for
There is not
Potential
a right
Essentially,
answer.
can we like roll to try and get better chances of finding their flag when the competition comes around?
Sure, familiarizing yourself. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Giving
that's basically what I'm looking
A
for.
bonus to hiding our own flag once that time
Yes.
comes around.
What's up?
I would like to call in my guy.
Your last contact?
Yep.
That contact is in Port Seether.
It says that
They-
Elle knows a guy, not the fancy guy. There was a guy. There was another guy. I don't remember what it was from, but Elle knows a guy was separate from the fancy guy
I think
when we
that
were
was
there.
Still in Port Seether, though.
Was it? I thought it was here.
I think it was in Eric's
Was it? Okay.
because it was another
Then-
time we had downtime.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I trust Amy's memory on that. So
You shouldn't, but okay,
you
I
are
have no
the
idea.
you have taken the most notes.
that's true.
I would like to call in a guy
Okay.
to help with one, the scouting, and two, the game when it actually happens.
Okay, I will say that probably the most useful use of that would be a free, like, you can claim a building.
Okay, cool.
Would be the best use of that.
We'll use that
if
then.
you're using it for that. Okay, so, Millicent, Amira, any others?
I think those are the only ones who can fly on our team.
I believe you are correct. M1B you don't have. Dusan has his bird, but that doesn't let him fly.
Can you see through his birds?
He can.
Okay.
It's a familiar, so.
That's fair. Is there range to that?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
And Dusan is pretty good with cities in general.
Yep. Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
having an air team and a ground team.
Yeah.
Scouting. Do we want to split it between half of city, or we kind of do like a general for both of us?
I'll leave that up to you.
Decision.
I will
He's
say,
thinking about it.
Ari volunteers to take all of the notes. She has a notebook, and she is using her illusory, her emerald pen
okay.
that writes an illusory script.
Nice. No one can read your
So no one
notes.
can read it, but it looks like gibberish to anyone but her. But she is also writing the notes in Kori.
Good to know.
So
I will say
even
it
if it's
doesn't look like gibberish. It
it looks like other things.
it looks like other things.
It looks like class notes.
Okay.
It looks like notes from her perception class, from her
Got it.
athletics class.
Yeah.
But they're all. If
There
the
are
magic,
things it would default to if you didn't have something in mind.
yes. If
Bunch of little
the
stick
magic
figures.
was dispelled, all the notes would still be written in Kori.
In Corey. Good to know. Okay.
And she does that for markings on, like, I guess they have like a physical map that she's making notes on.
Okay.
And she is making some notes in Elvish and some notes in Gnomish, depending. She's essentially leaving false notes on the map.
Interesting. Okay.
So if someone were to take the map and dispel the
magic making
the
it
magic to make it readable, some of the notes would be in Elvish and some of them would be in Gnomish. But it would be difficult to tell which notes are
Okay.
actually the notes.
I'm
that she's
going to
making.
say make a deception check using wisdom instead of charisma.
Okay, I can do that. So that'd be a +4. 22.
22.
Let's
Good
go.
to know. Yeah, write that down somewhere because that's going to be no, that would be a
Write that down,
DC
write
that
that
is
down.
set in case they investigate it
Yep.
at some point. Okay, so you are taking Millicent, Amira, and Dusan.
Yes.
All right, and so you are just scouting. Which half do you want to scout first?
We will scout. I'm gonna scout I was gonna say scout their side first to get ideas, but on like what they could be doing. But unless we find what they are doing, then it's not gonna mean anything. So let's scout our side first. Priority.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to say that because of the flight advantage, everyone has advantage on perception checks.
Nice.
All right.
So for you are not flying though.
No, I'm a scout, but I'm like making notes
So
while I'm on the
yeah,
ground.
so for you it would just
and-
be a normal perception check.
Okay.
This would be perception.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way I could argue for
Investigation.
investigation?
You absolutely
on,
can.
You know how street flow goes. What would be least likely for someone
Finding
to think to go through?
something like hidden
great
passages,
places
maybe.
For, secret passages. Great ways for ambushes or guarding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vantage points. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So nice.
good.
Investigation. That is a math. Really bad at math.
What'd you get on the die?
19 plus 8,
Yeah.
27.
Yeah.
All right. Amira got a 12 on perception,
Okay.
8 and a 1 on the die. So
That
plus
was
4
even with
for a 12.
advantage.
Dusan got
The other was an 18.
a 23 on investigation.
Okay.
Millicent rolled a natural 20.
Oh, let's go.
Yes.
So,
High fives all around.
It's a 24 on the ground perception for Airy.
24. Okay. So here's how I'm gonna make that work. Is
If our team's doing our side, do you want to do the enemy side?
I figured the entire
Yeah, we would all go at once.
then go over to the So I'm gonna say that's 1, 2, 3. You got a 20,
27.
27. And Ari got a
24.
So that is 10 points.
Okay.
That, and if you want to ask a question, find something specific, that you can accentuate this. It's not dissimilar to like when you're doing research, you get like 3 questions. So you have 10 things you can find out, because there's being blunt, the city is too big for me to give you a complete rundown of what that's all. But, you know, if there's a specific spot, you're just like, okay, I want to find a quick route from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Or I, you know, want to know if this would be a good defensible location. Like, so there are 10 questions that you have about your side to get clarification on something.
Cool.
Then for the enemy side, that is a 18 for Millicent.
Oh, rolling us again.
Yep.
Oh, that's not good.
Jiminy Crickets, a 10 for Amira.
Oh, wait, we're rolling.
She's so excited to beat Mackenzie's team that she's not really paying attention.
An 18 for Dusan.
Okay.
But that's only 3 so far.
27.
There we go.
5.
11. Aries more
6.
focused on writing
Yep.
her notes.
So you have 6 points for the enemy side.
Okay.
So you are more knowledgeable about your side of the map, which, at the end of the day, not a bad thing to have.
Yep.
Especially because at this point you don't even necessarily know where they're going to be setting up, or things like that. So,
Yeah.
I will say that you can spend some time thinking about what you want to do with that, with those points, and if you guys have questions, you can also your team has those.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the side that has the sun lab, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Diameter of the city from the westernmost point to the easternmost point.
At the
How
largest.
far
point.
is that? Yeah.
So that'd be
Sorry,
from
what?
the base to base.
How
the
wide
shoreline.
is the city?
Yeah.
At the widest point.
Why am I looking at it? Looks like a pair of lungs from where I'm
Does.
sitting.
I keep thinking that.
Yeah. Also, how familiar are you with point number 13, the shady dealer?
That is something Trey and I talked about briefly. We didn't figure out.
Oh no, I know what it is.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Crow is not super familiar with it. She could become more.
Conceptually, she's like, I could check that out.
The city is 6
I'm
square
not-
miles.
Huh?
The city is 6 square miles.
Okay.
Along it's roughly 3 miles by 2 miles.
Well, more
Okay.
like 3 miles by 3 miles would because it's a triangular
Yeah.
formation. Math. It's
Yeah, that is
yeah.
yes. So it's but if you go along the dock and go from the far western end to the far eastern end, that is roughly speaking 3 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of long.
It's why you have an entire day.
Yep.
The game starts at sunup, ends at sundown.
All right, strategists.
All right. So,
I'm not a strategist.
I'm drawing on my years of capture the flag experience. Many years.
Channel it. Manifest it.
Yeah, my strategy skills are more honed towards armies fighting other armies.
And I think this is very
I
fitting
mean-
for Ari, who has spent years training to retrieve magical items. So,
I'm not Ray this time.
You as Ryan can still contribute though.
Oh, I don't want to.
Ryan's like, I want a break. I've done too much thinking in previous D&D.
Yeah. So I am here to answer questions and give feedback and play as other characters as needed, but
So-
y'all are the ones taking the reins at this point.
The rule is it has to cross, I guess the river is the halfway point?
Yep.
So it has to cross to the opposite side of the river.
Yes.
Okay. So,
If
strategically...
you're swimming through the river, it is if you tap it on the bank of your side, you win.
Okay.
Oh,
So, strategically speaking, we are going to want to have it far from the river. So, along the far end. At the top by the Sun Lab, though we have connections there, it's a short distance to the river.
Right.
So, it would make the most sense for us to put the flag in the bottom rightmost quadrant, down past where the shady
I thought we
dealer
were on the other
is.
side.
No, we're on the side with the Sun Lab. Or no, we are on the side with the
Yeah, because we have the inn as one of our places that we
Yes,
want
you're
to
correct.
have.
We have the riverbed, we have the government square.
So you want to put the flag in the most obvious place that they're going to check first?
Yeah,
No,
that's
that's what I'm saying. I'm ruling out that
Got it,
option.
got it.
So
Okay,
that
cool,
would
just checking.
mean so number 9
I
is
think the key will really
Temple of
be
Kina.
finding the most generic building we can find and hiding it in there.
Yes.
Because then it'll make it harder for them to identify.
I do
Keep
think
in mind, any building every building that is on your side
Yeah, will have a
be
flag.
marked,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be real easy to look into windows and see that light
Yep.
because it is a 30-foot radius.
Unless we can find something underground.
That is true.
Like in a
Definitely
cellar.
possible, though
I
it'd
wouldn't
have to
say
be
the
more
club,
than 30
but-
feet underground.
Is there a
'cause
way we
otherwise the
can
light's gonna shine through.
suppress the light?
Not easily.
Okay.
Invisibility?
The light will still shine.
So
The rod itself might be invisible, but the light it emits will still be.
Interesting.
Man, we really should have gotten the right side so we could have the sun lab just hide it there. Everything's glowing there.
Yeah.
But is everything glowing purple there?
Hiding it in so it'd be the bottom leftmost quadrant.
The
Would be the-
part of the intent is that it is less about hiding it and more about defending it.
Yeah.
Yes. So we want to pick a place that's easily defensible. So actually, that bottom leftmost quadrant would be easily defensible because there's only so many ways to come in through the water. However, King is a Triton and will have an innate swimming speed.
Yep.
So having it more upland would
Inland?
eliminate,
So
yeah, inland. Well, not inland, but like further up.
Yeah.
the key will be finding something that has only one way in and out.
Yes.
And
I should
putting it-
make the map the thumbnail so people have it for reference.
Yes.
That might be a good idea.
So underground is a good option if we can locate tunnels of some kind, which would also be good to eliminate any flyers that they have. I do think having a
I think underground in
decoy,
a cellar or something would be a good
a
idea.
decoy would also be really good.
A decoy means that we have to dedicate team members to protect it. Because otherwise, if we have a decoy all on its own, but all of our team is gathered around the real one, it's obvious which one is real.
Yes.
So we don't want to dedicate
But we
half of
have
our
the
team into
decoy-
protecting a decoy.
But we want to have the
we're
decoy
splitting
nearby the real one.
So you just essentially have side by side.
Yes.
But in that case, they're at the very least they're still hitting the same place. They might try to grab both. So long as we can identify which one the decoy is, otherwise we don't even know who to chase.
are there
Exactly.
any like non-magical fabrics in Arklands that would block this type of light?
Non-magical? No.
No.
Okay, so when
Also, keep in mind, when the real one is grabbed, a
That's right. a
beacon is sent up,
Yeah.
and it'll be visible no matter where you are.
is it when it's grabbed by anyone or just the other team?
The other team. However, even if someone on your team takes it back, beacon is still now up. As soon as it is claimed and moved from its location by the other team, as you know, it doesn't have to be by the other team. Once it is
Okay.
placed, the first time it is moved from that location, beacon goes up.
Okay,
And
okay.
stays up for the rest of the game.
Okay, so that,
So it can't
that
be moved.
eliminates
You can't be
yeah.
moving it around
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, so that eliminates that strategy.
You
So-
could move it around. You could keep it but they'll be able to see.
That would be a hard game to play while we're still looking for theirs.
Yeah.
Now we could try and play the elimination game, and if their whole team is out, there's nobody to fight us.
Absolutely true.
But that would be very risky and be a tough.
Setting up some
Tough to
kind
play.
of trap would be good if we have a decoy.
For the record, you can keep in mind, the day is long enough that someone knocked out will wake up.
Yes. So having some sort of jail.
You can set up. You would have to designate a building and retrofit it for that. And
What if we just got-
government area?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
if
put
if
them
we
in an
just
actual cell.
went to the actual jail and we're like,
that
hey,
is-
If we can convince them.
if I remember correctly, I believe 6, which is on their side, is where
the jails would be.
the jail, the main guard force,
Okay.
is right smack dab in the center of the city.
Alternatively,
That's
this
like one police plaza kind of thing.
this is a port city. There will be ships that would have cells that we could.
Put them on
Rent
a
out
ship
and be like-
and then send the ship out to sea.
That would be amazing.
That takes
Calling your guy, calling your fancy guy from Port Seether.
Oh my gosh,
Have
that'd
a ship waiting that we put people on.
What if we just borrow graves?
They wake up in another country.
Okay. So there is something against putting the beacon on another plane. Is there anything against putting another player on another plane?
If you can figure out how to,
We don't have banishment.
yeah.
Nope.
Not only that,
Banishment
almost
is
all of
limited.
them are from the material plane.
Yeah, so they'd only be gone for a minute.
That's if you use banishment.
What else do you have in mind?
I don't know. It depends on how easily someone could steal a ship. Probably graves would be
Put them on-
preference.
Like in the ethereal plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just
Y'all
dump
don't
them
know
off.
how to drive those things.
Crow can figure
I
it
just
out.
need to find the right button.
Yeah, Crow's smart enough.
Good.
Crow's smart enough, and L's lucky enough.
You
We combine the two.
you may certainly try.
Hey, we have the tram station with the guy that Elle made friends with, the conductor. We could put them on the tram and have them shipped
Send
back
them
up to the school.
Yeah, but that would only
That is-
temporarily.
No, but
Hold them off.
But if the guy who is on the tram, who is like
If he
on
doesn't
our
let them
side,
back on.
yeah, that's my
There's
thought.
more than one way off of the school grounds.
Yeah.
That's just the
It would-
easiest.
Not easily.
Yeah,
They
It's
can
up there.
walk
Like
fly.
literally, it's the tram or a ship.
yeah.
That's it.
And anyone,
It's up a mountain.
Yeah, anyone
Crow
who
has
can
floating
fly
distance.
would be fine.
Walking would take hours.
Okay, the tram also has a cable, right? That brings it up and down.
It's primarily on rails. It does have a cable to assist it, but that's not like
Slide down the
could-
rail.
it. could-
Gravity works.
Yeah.
You gotta
It's
make
dangerous.
a pretty good dex check and consistent.
Yeah,
'Cause that
but
is-
still, it would significantly delay them.
It would.
It would delay them. It just wouldn't be a permanent solution.
No, but it's a solution.
Yeah. I think it's more probable to make that happen than it would be to get a ship or multiple ships to ship off.
Yeah, because the tram can go up, drop them off at school, and bring them back, or then
And
come back down.
for another load.
Yeah.
If we tried to get a ship on our side, we might possibly only have one, and so we'd only have one shot of sending off students out of range.
Yeah,
But if
Yeah.
we get a second round of students later on, we don't want to risk the first team waking up.
yeah. So, and especially if the conductor is like, I can't operate the tram for you guys, but here's a manual.
Pull a Heimdall.
Yeah, and just we assign somebody with high intelligence to operate the tram back and forth. We could do that. We should have 3 teams. An offensive team, a defensive team, and a guard team. So the guard team are the people who are responsible for
Anyone that's been
anyone Well, anyone who's been caught and or the beacon itself.
Okay.
So they stand around the beacon, they alert everybody else when the beacon has been moved.
Well, I
If
mean,
they
we'll
can't-
all know that.
I mean, yes, but if someone's far away, they may not be paying attention to the light itself.
Well, the light's a beam that shoots all the way up into the sky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to
But
miss. Unless
still,
you're inside.
having somebody who's alerting others to
That being
where it
said,
is.
most likely, if they're grabbing the flag, they've probably dealt with the guard team.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
Unless
But
they're
that's
trying to
why-
sneak it,
But that's
which
why we
is
have
also an option.
a defensive team who are positioned sort of halfway and staggered throughout our side. So that way they can catch anybody who's trying to make it across the river, but a good bit before they get to the river. And maybe have some people even along the river to catch any stragglers who might try and get through. And then the offensive team are the people who are going to the other side to retrieve. And a good way to get the item is to not have one singular person retrieving it. You want to treat it like a baton toss,
Yeah.
where you have one person grab it, and if they're going to get caught, they pass it along to somebody else.
Who are the people who can fly? Just everybody who's scouting right now?
So that's on your
Crow,
team.
Millicent, and Amira.
Yeah, flyers
And
are really
Hassan
good for
has
that.
a bird, but that's it.
Yeah,
How many people on their team can fly?
Kari.
A little more. Kakari, they have a fairy. I forget her name.
They do, Aaron.
And on Muron A, they have a.
Muron B has Taki Taki.
Okay, I have all the letters mixed up. He changed them.
Yes, I did.
Actually, do you have updated pictures of the whole groups?
All the pictures are the same. But the
Except one of the steeds completely changed.
which one?
Kaio Team A, I forget what his
Cassie?
race is called.
The kobold?
Yeah, the kobold, you changed that to a velociraptor.
What is it on there?
It's a griffin.
Oh,
That was a long time ago.
yeah. That's the only difference, though. Everyone else is basically the same.
Yeah.
I think a potential strategy that we should consider is eliminating their air power.
Yes.
Because if we control the skies, that will give us a really easy out to bring the beacon back to our side.
Yeah.
As well as it'll eliminate a speedy way for them
Do you have to
get-
consider the beacon has to touch ground on our side.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
necessarily.
Once it
Does it?
Well, even if it needs to touch ground, it needs to touch ground. You could literally get it like up to the river and then chuck it to the other side.
Yeah, does not have to be held.
All right. So we should divide up who we want on essentially who we want on defense, who we want on offense.
The easier way to do it, which is not necessary, but is to keep the teams together. Again, those teams know how each other fight at this point and do work well together. You do not have to keep them together if you want specific people to split off. But basically imagine each team as a block you can move around that you have the choice to split off, but by default they will be sticking together.
Yeah, and that's fine too, depending on what their strengths are, because having multiple skills on either offense or defense, having some offensive-based people in a defensive role can be really helpful. Having a mix of spellcasters and fighter types is really helpful because I think that magic is going to be a good way to get through this. Being able to turn invisible. How long would it take somebody to walk from that far right quadrant in Eric's all the way down by the river over to the other side?
I mean,
All the way down by the docks.
how long does it take to walk 3 miles? That doesn't.
It was 3 miles all the way across.
Yeah.
So it'd be about 1.5 miles.
So, oh, you mean on one side?
On one side. How long would it...
give or take?
All right,
mile
so
and a
that'd
half.
be... Yeah, that'd be like half an hour.
There's a specific mechanic.
Walking is, okay, in real life, the average walking speed is about 3 miles per hour.
Yeah, so about half an hour.
There's a specific.
Yeah, but it would take less than an hour. So turning invisible is a good option. Especially if we can create some kind of illusory effect that replicates that beacon light going up to act as a decoy once we've grabbed it and have two people kind of split off.
That's true. I would rather, focus on, like, creating some kind of decoy for when we grab their flag. Yeah.
Having a decoy for ours would be more of a way to trap people.
But, I don't feel like it would be worth trying to have a decoy for our flag, because they're gonna have to be in the same room, otherwise we're gonna be splitting up our group unnecessarily. So we better work instead on just defending the flag, because it's just gonna be one roll away from determining which one's real, which one's fake. And anyways, once you grab them, it's obvious which one is real.
Alright.
So,
In 1 hour, you can move a number of miles equal to your speed divided by 10. So average walking speed for the average person is 3 miles per hour in 5e rules.
Alright, so Ari could do the walk.
So
from
you
one
could walk
side.
from one end of the city to the other in an hour.
Yeah.
do we have exhaustion rules for running for extended periods?
It's less of a endurance thing in this context.
Yeah.
Because this is a lot more strategy than it is race. So, you good, bud?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Oh. I'm here.
Should not have eaten that pizza.
Nope. But it got an inspiration.
Made the sacrifice play. Thanks, bro.
I did. Now step over. I'm on the wire.
So,
Alright, so let's take a look at these teams that we have. Kiera, could you pull up the list again?
To just look at my screen.
Oh, yeah.
These are our teams.
So, I've kind of taken over, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Alright.
When I hear strategy, my brain immediately dissociates. So, like, I'm doing my best to keep up with this. It's very difficult for
Alright, so
me.
this is
Is this
a
what's
car team A.
is it? Yeah.
Alright, so I think a car A should be offense because we've got the flyer, and a good mix of spellcasters and fighter types. And then, how do I go back? Oh, swipe.
Or
Okay,
You said a car A?
a car A. This is Kyo B, right?
this is a car B.
A car B.
Is Guardians team A or B?
A.
Oh, okay, that's another one that's mislabeled.
Okay.
Or has
What is it
changed.
on the
On the sheet,
yearbook?
on the yearbook sheet, Guardian is on Team A for our car.
Perfect. The yearbook is accurate.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're referencing a car Team B then when you're talking about the flyer, because you were talking about Amira?
Yes.
Okay,
So
yeah.
a car B, I think, should be offense because they've got a flyer.
I'm referring to these because of the pictures. It's easier to remember their faces rather than the names and then scrolling all the way to their faces.
It's supposed to
individually.
be clickable.
It is. I don't know why it's not been working.
So a
don't
car
know, it's working
A,
for me.
I think, actually might be good on defense.
Yeah.
Because they've got some
They've got
heavy
some
hitters
good, like,
and good to knock people out. And then we've got Kyo B.
Millicent, Soccer Boy, Soren.
I think they also would be good on offense. Basically, keeping the Flyers on offense, but if any of them would be better suited, like Soren, I think would be good as a frontliner along the river, as somebody who can quickly grab something and then run across and do that finishing distance.
Well, again, the Flyers are probably going to be our best bet because if they can fly and get high enough in the air, you immediately eliminate half of the people on the other team because not everybody's going to have ranged capabilities.
That's why we put them on offense, where they can go get the flag and get it out of there.
Having backup options is always good because if for some reason somebody gets grounded, having people who are fast like a monk are really handy.
Yes.
Or somebody like a monk to do the initial grab and then pass it off to a flyer.
Yeah.
And then
Naira A.
Naira A, I think, should be defense.
Okay.
I agree.
What are we gonna do? Offense or defense?
I think we could split.
Split the party.
Okay. We could.
Forbidden rule.
Well, okay. We can split the party, but go with other parties.
Yes.
So since there's 4 of us, and we are the team captain, each one of us can take a team. So like, Crow could take what's the one that Millicent's on? Because that would probably be a really good assault one. She would probably fit better in that role. Having Aerie as a monk on the other offensive team would probably help fill a good gap there. And then Elle and Cass being kind of support to aid in defense would probably be best. Because Cass is not going to be able to do a whole lot of anti-air.
Yeah.
But if the beacon is on the ground, Cass can stick near it.
And you could be good defense for taking people out early.
Yep. So here's a question. Do we want to focus on our side of the river? Do we want to focus on trying to divert their attention from where our flag is? Or do we want to all converge and try to create the best defense system around our spot?
I don't think we should group up that much. I think that we should stay somewhat spread out.
But it is a big city, so I'm worried about spreading too far.
Yeah, we don't want to spread too thin, but if we're all grouped up in one area, then as soon as somebody gets by, they're gone.
I think a good strategy for us to adopt would be to get as many houses as possible to hang our flag, so there's more places for them to check and more places for us to hide in. And then we pick an area that's relatively easy to defend, have a couple people in there with the beacon, and then have everybody else in buildings right outside of that building. Because then it's quick response time, but not everyone's in that building, so if there's like a fireball or something that's thrown in there, not everyone's gonna get hit.
Yeah.
Somebody on the roof.
I mean, just like in the general area.
Yeah, within a building or two.
An ideal situation that I would want Crow to look out for is to have like something that's down like a winding alleyway where there's kind of only one way in and out, so they have to get through multiple different groups of forces to get the flag, and then back out they have to go through the same people. So like trying to bottleneck them through our forces would be the most ideal thing that we can do.
Precisely.
Finding a bottleneck. I think cutting off points along the river, so there's 2, 3, 4, 5 bridges along the river that are going to be the easiest access points for them to get across.
Yeah.
So the bridge all the way down by the bottom is probably going to be the main route. I do think so. If we're looking at the map, we're starting at the very bottom left square quadrant, and we go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that weird kind of like L shape quadrant.
Wait, repeat that.
So we're looking at this L shaped quadrant right here. I think that is going to be the best place to put our flag. Where it's far enough down that it's still pretty much the full 1.5 miles.
So essentially near the riverbed.
Yeah, near the riverbed, which we can probably easily get on our side.
Now, it is a very open area, and they could come in from any direction and split from any direction.
But if we put it
So, like, in that
like
area,
towards the back, we have a couple. If we get a couple houses there, but open area also means that we'll be able to see them coming.
Granted, some of this will probably come down to just rolls.
Yeah.
The
Can
entire game kind of does.
Yep.
I think the other strategy that Ari suggests, because I'm just talking completely out of character now, because
that
this
is
is just Amy strategizing. Can we?
We're having this conversation with our entire team.
Yes.
All the brainiacs are sitting down together and discussing this.
Yes.
Cass is not a brainiac, but he would be there too.
When you say all brain, that is like all from all the different teams?
Yeah, if we can.
Good to know.
Elle's at the coffee shop.
So if you have ideas to offer,
This is y'all's game to play.
I think another strategy will be getting a feel for who is going to be the other team's offense and who is going to be their defense.
Well, Mackenzie's team is definitely going to be offense.
Yeah. Does Mackenzie seem like the type of person to... Shh, I know. Here's your binky back. All right. Does Mackenzie seem like the type of person to want to be the one to get the flag himself?
Can we roll a bunch of insight checks on every team?
You absolutely can.
he
Go.
is greedy, but he's also willing to play it coy. So I don't
he
expect that
he
would-
wants to win enough that he would be willing to put aside his own personal goals.
Is he though?
I think he is. He is intelligent, or he strikes me as intelligent, but
You have
just
your
kind of
book, which does describe certain traits that they all have.
yeah. I've read them all at
a
one point,
resource
but
that we can use.
You do.
I keep bouncing back and forth between things.
Yep.
But I would like to make. Would I make individual insight checks for each team to see which ones I think would end up on what roles?
Well, here's the reality.
Trey hasn't picked yet.
No, it's not about that. Because I actually do have ideas. It's at the end of the day, where is Mackenzie's team going to put them? Because, a team might feel that they are very suited to be offense.
But
Doesn't
Mackenzie's
matter.
like, no, I
Mackenzie
want you
could
on.
put them, yeah.
That's true.
So, something that would be
Is Mackenzie going to sideline Serrata A? Are they just going to say, we picked you just so they wouldn't have you go sit in the corner?
Which would be a huge advantage for us.
It would be. And I'm trying to decide how spiteful is Mackenzie.
Ryan, would you like me to make a roll for L for insight?
I'm rolling. Give me
Oh,
some
you're rolling? Okay. He's got his digital dice over there.
insight.
So I'm rolling insight on Mackenzie then?
Sure.
17.
Okay.
Can we all roll insight on Mackenzie?
Yeah. I'm going to give him advantage because it's not like any of y'all know him super well.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Oh wow, that beats
Hey.
mine. I had a 24.
Okay, give me a second. I need to actually get his dice up.
Ari learned secrets about him when she punched him in the face.
Extract back 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you roll?
I rolled a 24.
You got a
Ari's,
23.
Ari's
Alright.
total was a 24.
You've only got a +4 to insight?
I'm not proficient in it.
Oh,
I have advantage, but I'm not proficient.
fair. Okay, so, he is hella spiteful. But you want to know what will spite y'all even more than sidelining Serrata? Winning.
All right.
Mackenzie's going to do whatever he thinks it will take to win.
He's going to play dirty.
He's smart enough to know, I will say with a natural 20 on insight, he's smart enough to know that outright cheating will disqualify him, and like the teachers aren't stupid. He's deceptive, he's sneaky, he's not all powerful.
Yeah.
There are people, like the chance of getting away with it from one pair of eyes watching, sure. 2, maybe. All of them? No.
He's not that cocky.
He's not.
He's a dick, but he's not cocky.
He is cocky, but he's also
He's smart enough to bend the rules but not break them.
exactly. He will give himself every advantage. He will toe the line without crossing it.
Cool. My idea. Noah doesn't like this,
But
but what if we have Amira's team go with them?
Go with who?
Mackenzie.
Go onto their
swap
side.
sides.
They swap sides,
What do you mean?
and then they sabotage the crap out of his team. That would not only give them a massive disadvantage, but we'd be down a team, and we get boons.
But I think that would be
One
that
of the
would
rules
be
that was
crossing the line.
clarified is that if a team is like on a side when the day starts, they are fighting for that side, and if they are found to be not doing so, that
Yeah.
could cause. Now, if you could convince someone to do it in subtle ways, especially
That's the plan.
prior to, like the better. I'll tell you this much for free: the better way to do that would be, as opposed to sabotaging them on the day, would be things before.
Suggesting particular locations for stuff.
Or feeding false information.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Things like that. Because basically, while the teams have made commitments so far, none of those are legally locked
Binding.
in until
The day
the
of.
dawn of. So, whether it's Amira's team or trying to convince, House Serrata, Team A, or trying to talk
Wait, I
to...
thought they were locked in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to fight for Mackenzie's team on the day.
Yeah.
On the day. But not before.
Wait, we can go get them?
No.
No, we can't recruit them to our team to fight
Yeah,
for us on the
But
day.
We can get
if
information
there are
from
things
them.
that they can
If
do
they're
to
willing
help
to
you,
work with us,
in theory,
Yeah.
that would not be breaking the rules. Would it be underhanded? Some would see it as such.
I don't care what other people think.
That's what I thought.
With that in mind, Ari is going to make a second set of false notes that on the surface look exactly the same because she will still use the illusory script, and they will still, and these will be written in Elvish underneath instead of Corey.
do they have any elves on their team?
They might be able to read Elvish, I don't know. But
Elvish is
They
a
know
pretty
at
common
least
language.
one.
yeah, but they will be false leads.
Curious about something.
What?
I'm curious about something.
Because they've got Dispel Magic, they could get rid of the illusory script. And they would no longer look just like class notes.
I was curious to see if King, as a warlock, had Eyes of the Runekeeper.
Does he?
You don't know.
I can look at his character sheet.
Don't.
That being said, if you guys do want to look through the character sheets of the people on your team,
Eventually.
you go
Yeah.
for it.
Who would know if King has it or not?
But, I mean, it wouldn't matter because they're false notes.
Yeah. At the end of the day.
They're discussing strategies about putting our flag up near the government square, and using the temple of Kina as a secondary base.
You should put in the false notes the plan to take all captive students down to the docks and put them on the boats, and then we bring them to the train. In actuality,
Yeah, stuff like that.
that's a fun one.
Putting, making notes about different places on their side that could be potentials for them to hide the flag and essentially limit their options.
I have one very specific thing that I really want to do while we're doing all the prep. I want to go to the light laboratory, and I want to ask them for as many items as they can spare that emit bright light for 30 feet of a very specific color.
So you're looking for
decoys.
okay.
All kinds of decoys to put in every
We
house.
also have trinkets on our side.
Yup, everything.
He has some fun little
Things
Okay.
to borrow.
Here's what I'll say.
Castle biome.
He would. Presuming they aren't outrageously priced.
Okay. These would be common magic items, the
Okay.
equivalent of going to 7-Eleven and buying a flashlight, kind of thing. The light will not be 1-to-1. You can get closer to it by spending more money.
But if they don't know exactly what it's supposed to look
They'll
like,
see. They'll have theirs.
you know,
I mean, yeah,
it's going to be a
but-
suggested purple color.
It's not about them genuinely thinking it is. It's about diverting attention of what if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. In that case, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
That was not a roll. That was it. Slipped out of my hand. Okay. Now would be a good time for the inspiration. No? Okay.
All right,
mean,
no,
that's-
you can. I'll give it to you.
Dude, you got a flat 20.
I want more.
No.
Waste it on a fail.
Greedy man.
A flat 20?
Yes,
Roll a
for this?
9.
Save.
You do understand that a 20 is a good roll, right? We are level 5.
I don't like Trey's face though right now.
Inspiration.
I like your face
No,
normally,
he's
but
making a face because you're ridiculous. Save
That is
inspiration.
absolutely true.
Yeah, we're gonna save the inspiration.
Okay,
Save
we'll save it.
inspiration when it's an obvious fail.
If you had
As
rolled
opposed
a
to
1,
bringing-
I would give it to you.
Okay. 60 gold per.
60 gold per.
But you can buy as many as you're willing to spend money on.
okay.
I'd say 3 additional, so you have a total of 4.
That's a more reasonable number.
So basically one per team.
Yeah.
We'll buy 4.
Okay.
One
Mark
extra.
off
240.
240 gold.
There goes your allowance.
But it was for a good cause.
Yes.
Oh, actually, no, that is. How much did I get at the end of. When I went back to school?
You got
'Cause I only
250 gold at the end.
I'm
Was it
pretty sure.
250? Oh, man. Then I'm only buying 3 because I thought I had 500.
It may have been 500.
Do you think another student?
Yeah,
chip in?
we've got some some
some
government
wealth.
You
students.
have literal royalty.
You
Yes.
do.
Cass is figurative royalty.
Yeah, I say we
Economic.
We talked to them.
Amira, Kisakil, and Keisho are all literal royalty.
Yes.
So
we talked to them.
So El
Is
tells them his
King
plan and explains to them the prices. The more we have, the better the ruse.
Okay. I'm going to say between everyone, roll a d10. Actually, no. Roll 2d6.
I'll do
It's
it.
your plan.
Yeah, it's your plan. We're waiting on you, buddy. Roll high, roll
In
high.
addition to the
One's
3
high.
that he's getting,
7.
you get 10 total.
There you go. Ooh, that's
Alright.
good. I like that number. That's a good
That's a
number.
lot.
And again, these are common magic items. They're nice. 7 is the most common
Yeah.
number you can.
So how are we going to distribute this?
Pick a house.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna go around, like all over the city, like every night, They're gonna go around, and we're gonna start trying to
Because
convince
you have
people.
like 2 weeks to prepare for this. Your out of class is as the 2 week block that would usually be half the school, half the year goes on a mission, half the year goes on a mission. That entire 2 week block is dedicated to prep and then the game.
Yeah. So in which case, we have all day to go around and convince people.
Oh, it's more about like if we have 10 decoys. Like,
We
Yeah, so
distribute
the-
them in
Where we put
various
them.
locations. That would
because
be
we can't guard all of them.
no.
No.
But
No.
we would guard like we would put
We'd put 2 or 3 close by, and then we would put another one at a random house.
Yeah, if we have a defensive line,
Yeah.
we can make it appear as if some people who are just playing, who are just doing regular defensive line, are also guarding one.
Yeah. Could genuinely just have like arena, like within the 60 feet, we have like 3 different ones. Because they still have to send out different people to each one to try and figure out which one is real.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think like literally spacing them out as evenly as we can across
Yep.
the town would be the best bet.
Those
Because they
7.
have to check.
Yeah, those 7. Well,
But they can narrow it down if we don't have a team protecting one.
Correct.
Because it's like we wouldn't just leave, our actual flag unprotected.
We could.
So they'll count.
But we could if we have 10 of them. No, we won't. But they don't know that.
so I was more
Reverse
thinking.
psychology.
So here's what I was thinking. We don't spread them out in all across the city, right?
Oh,
Because-
you know what we could do? If they look? Did we get them to look like the beacon?
Yeah, not the beacon.
Or
No, the actual physical item does not look a lot like it. It is more it is
The glow.
recreating the glow.
if we could find a way, like maybe we just cover every object with like a basic cloth so it still emits the light.
Put it all in like
but
a
the-
barrel or something.
But yes,
Something
put them
that's too
all
heavy
together.
to carry to like on your own, but you have to open it up.
Yeah, well, not necessarily like something you could carry, but to the point where they're all spread out in the room. So it's like, think literally in Emperor's New Groove when they're going around trying to find the bottle among
Yes.
all the other ones that have been
You
spilled.
could split it if you have 10. You could put 5 of them scattered around and another 5.
That's what I was thinking. Yes.
Yeah,
we have
5
single
that are
location,
closer
too.
together.
Yeah, we
pick
could do
we
that.
pick one good, strong, defensible location, and then we have our fastest people be at the ones that are dispersed, so
But see,
that
if
when
they
they do
would-
show up, run.
With a high enough insight check for them, they could just negate all of that because it's obvious that all of us gather in one spot. One of those is going to be
Yeah,
real.
that's why I think
So
having
why
them all
even bother
spread
about
out.
the other 5?
We can only defend against dice rolls so much.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like why?
What you could do, in theory,
Could have like 3 groups of 3.
is have a cluster of like 5 of them
Yeah.
with a team there. Have the real one not in there, but nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go for all 5 of them.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Full on fight while the other one's chilling.
The other one's in like another house being guarded by, our guy.
Strongest
I don't know.
Avenger.
Yeah, there you go.
Some random dude with 6 hit points that's
Yep.
just supposed to scream at the top of his lungs.
He's like using
when
it
he
as a
sees
spoon or
someone.
something. to stir dinner.
Somebody's just chilling there like,
Why would you take my grandfather's spoon? What's wrong with you?
I mean, Rook has a +10 to stealth.
Yeah.
Having that's another thing. You could have the actual flag being defended by a team that is doing their damnedest not to be seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I do like the idea of key jangling, where we get them to go to a location where it's actually not.
And then we
at.
have a big net underneath that just goes whoop.
We have decoys of decoys.
Yeah.
But those are the decoy for the actual one that's very well
Yes.
named.
The
Traps.
actual one is just.
So
yeah, traps would be good if we have anybody who
Yeah.
can put down
Do we have any
glyphs and
rangers
stuff
in
like
our-
if I were still an artificer,
Rook.
Why aren't you?
God.
Because
she
I
wants
like
to
fighter
punch
better.
things.
I think a fighter on this team is far better.
Realistically, yes. I don't think artificers are that strong of a class.
Don't say
They're
that. You'll make
weak.
people on the internet mad.
Artificers
They're
are
a great
weak.
class.
They're weak.
Okay.
They're not
Mr.
as bad as
33
Rangers.
AC.
Rangers
Shut
are
up.
horribly balanced.
I can say that. I'm multi-classed and artificer.
They could be better balanced, and unfortunately, they're not.
Yeah.
They make phenomenal multi-classes, though.
It's true, but I'm not multi.
What kind of subterfuge in terms of just her
That's a big
general
word. Hell doesn't understand.
perception
It's okay.
and observantness? Observance?
Observance.
Yes. Can Aerie do ahead of time? Once the
What
strategy
does
is
that
kind of
mean?
Observance.
So, getting
Preganan?
observing observing
Will her baby pop
Mackenzie's
up its head?
team specifically, looking for their
Wait.
types of their notes on things.
So espionage.
Espionage. Yes,
That's-
Aerie wants to do some espionage
Okay.
Why did you just say spy?
because espionage is a more fun word to say.
So you want to spy on them.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Ba, ba, ba. I'm proficient.
Bardic inspiration for that.
All right.
It's definitely a good thing to give Bardic for.
Yep.
All right.
I want guidance.
You know.
I want that back.
8.
That might be one of the magical
All right,
secrets I take,
So
actually.
that's
Because it's just so
27
Good.
Stealth. Okay.
on stealth.
Did you roll the
I
D-
rolled an 11 plus 8 for my stealth plus an 8 on the D8.
Nice.
good. Holy.
Yeah.
That was good.
So 27
Yeah, Castle. You cast my 8.
with my 24 passive perception.
Cleric Initiative. It is so nice.
That's
Ooh, cleric initiative. That's a good feat.
I'm giving all of them the chance to.
Individually. See.
I don't think any of them have super great wisdom. If
Most of
I'm
them are
remembering.
not rolling well.
Yeah, if I'm remembering the
Good.
classes.
That's what we need.
Keep sucking!
The highest is a 19,
Oh, good.
Sweet.
and that was Mackenzie.
They never notice
18
a
plus
thing.
1.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he's a warlock, right?
Bard.
Bard. Yeah.
Can we preserve one inspiration to make the enemy team have to re-roll a nat 20 on their own planning? Because I'm sure you'll do some planning with a bunch of rolls and all that stuff. Can we...
I'll give up both the inspirations I have to do that.
Wait. Let's see if it only takes one.
Well, we don't know
I was
yet.
debating 1. I'll do it for 2.
Done. They don't get any natural 20s.
No. They
get
are
less
forced
chance.
to re-roll the first natural 20.
Okay.
You're spending 1 inspiration to re-roll and 1 to not have to know when it happens to re-roll.
All right. What do y'all want? Oh, wait. We're not meeting next week. Never mind.
No. Uh,
Why aren't we meeting tomorrow, Ryan?
Because it's freaking 10 o'clock at night and I work for a living.
not tomorrow, you don't.
No, I'm sleeping tomorrow.
Same.
Anyway,
Look, Microsoft died today. Do you understand the stress?
you literally talked about how that had no effect on you. Anyway, I want you to roll an insight check.
All right, I can do that.
All of us or just her?
Just her.
Any...
Unless you go with her,
No.
No.
Aerie's doing this on her own.
then
She does
just-
not trust Elle to be stealthy.
Elle doesn't trust Elle to be stealthy.
Good.
Elle is not stealthy.
All right.
The boys are not stealthy at all.
Insight, that's an 18.
Okay.
I do have a natural 20 from before that I rolled on Mackenzie, if that accounts for anything.
No, you got that.
Okay.
You're not able to spy on their planning because they're smart enough to not do that in a place where they could be spied upon.
Yes.
However, you are able to ninja your way, like holding yourself above the rafters in a room or something, to overhear an interaction between Mackenzie and Kakari. where Mackenzie tells him that his team will he says, I know that you're very close to your housemates, so don't worry. You don't have to fight them. Hopefully they never find where we place the flag anyway. And so you find out that it is Mackenzie's plan to have Kakari's team on defense of the flag itself. What'd you roll on perception?
I didn't make a perception check. I made a stealth check.
Okay.
So perception. That's only an 18. Oh no, 19.
19?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can read lips, and I have a 24 passive perception.
That you know what, that is true.
Yes.
So you are able to discern.
Observant feet coming through.
You'll have a good view of their approach. There's only one path up, and we will be keeping an eye on you to make sure you do properly defend.
All right.
From the implication, there's only one spot you can think of on their half of the city that has only one path up to it.
The Sunlight Lab, which is very close to
It is close to the water,
the water.
the river.
Kakari is probably going to be put high up because he can fly, and he's going to be tasked with intercepting Crow. Ari brings this information back to just our team.
I don't want to split up. Just saying that now.
You don't want to split us
I
up?
do not want to split us up. I do not.
All right.
Whether you guys agree with it or not, I'm
On a
putting
meta
it out
level,
there
it
now.
is better for y'all to stay together because if someone
But for
does hypothetically get
storytelling-
knocked out, then
that's
that
true.
person just has to sit by and watch.
Yeah.
I was thinking more so from a it'd make it easier because then it'd be like, okay, you can control this team, you can control this team. That way, you're not having to do so much.
Yes, however, both from a narrative perspective and from a mechanical perspective, I think it would be better for us to stay together.
For what's your reasoning? Like, I'm fine with it either way. I'm just curious to know what your thoughts are.
One, we know our characters better than we know the other characters. So, and we've played with our characters together in situations, in combat, more so than these other characters that we don't know.
Plus, one of the aspects of this is because this is a predefined strategy, I'll be able to do some of those fights ahead of time.
Okay.
Yeah, if other teams clash
Because
along the way.
because you guys are essentially trying to establish a strategy now, I can be like, I can basically denote, okay, this team would end up running into this team. How does that fight go? Okay, and then I'll be able to do some of those things, and I'll only go like a few steps down the line, essentially, to allow y'all to intervene as needed.
From a narrative perspective, I want a rematch with,
Valid.
yep,
All right.
That's fair.
So knowing this
With whose
information,
team?
Serrata teammate. Yep.
But well, do we know whether? Oh, with Serrata, gotcha.
That's my narrative design.
So you
to stay
want
together.
all of us to go on offensive?
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. But knowing what we do, Ari will adjust her fake notes to essentially cross out the Sunlight Laboratory as a potential location and put just notes about like unlikely, too close to the river, which is a reasonable assumption. And the notes appear to all be written in common. She will give the notes to Caspian.
Okay.
Or no, who has a better deception, Caspian or Elle?
L.
Probably Cass is not the most deceptive guy. He doesn't like that so much.
She will give the notes to Elle, which is also reasonable because Aerie and Elle are very close.
Mm-hmm.
And
Elle's very likely to lose this
That's-
information.
That's true. Elle is definitely the clumsiest.
yep,
I will
agree.
say,
Give the
as
notes
you
to
are
Elle.
concocting this plan, make me an insight check.
Uh-oh.
Oh, by the way, anytime that we talk
Natural 20.
anything like, because I assume we would probably pick a room, like one of our bedrooms to talk in. Cass will detect magic just to make sure there's not
We
any
talking-
scrying eyes and stuff like
Just so
that.
you know, detect magic wouldn't tune you into scrying eyes.
That's fine. It might give me other things,
We
but that would be
talking-
something that he would do.
Can we talk in Graves' office? Like, straight up.
You could?
Can we just chat in there? I don't think we'd have to worry if we were in Graves' office. What do you think?
Yeah,
I mean,
think
same
all
tower,
of
but-
all of our strategy planning happens in Graves' office.
I like that. You've been observing Mackenzie. He's not stupid. But he also explicitly said that he didn't trust Kakari. You're planning to plant false information. The idea occurs to you.
Give it to Kakari. To
The same may be being done in return. If Mackenzie thought that anything he told Kakari would make its way back to you,
Yeah. That's true. Because if anything,
Give him the real
because
notes.
he's close to us,
No.
Give him the real notes
No.
and give him the Kakari.
No,
That way they know what's up.
that's too risky.
That's a gamble,
It's-
and Elle will take it.
It's a gamble.
No.
that's only if we can actually have like an in conversation with them to convince them to work with us
Yeah.
up till the day.
I think
If you want Elle to do that, Elle's gonna have to
Yeah.
like make a stealth check to get
I
or
think-
sleight of hand or something to
yeah,
get a hold
and they
of
wouldn't
us.
be able to unless they've got like eyes. Unless someone's got
Why?
eyes of the room
because
keeper.
Cass would not let that happen.
Yeah, Aerie would not let Elle near.
So
her
who does he
notes.
trust the most?
who?
Mackenzie.
The other
Probably
thought
his teammates.
that Aerie had was if Elle were
I-
to pass along.
Just as a note, because I think there may have been a crossed wires moment. Though I do like the idea. I don't know if it would work, but
Neither
I like
do
the
I.
idea.
I would totally chance it, but I'm on a team.
It is
I
less about
respect that.
your plans with your information. Is the insight you were given.
Yeah,
You
it's that
just
he-
observed Mackenzie specifically telling Kakari specific information. It does occur to you that information
I get
may
it.
not be accurate.
Yep.
Kakari obviously probably thinks it's accurate, but with the natural 20, I wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yes.
So there's a chance that Kakari's team is basically sitting out off in the corner of the map.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so mean.
Potentially as bait.
Yep.
A thought occurs to Aerie of having Kakari get a hold of Aerie's notes to bring them to Mackenzie to win his trust.
There's someone on Kakari's team that's way better suited for that.
Rogue.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Sneaky and deceptive.
What is
Have her
Rogue's
get
perception?
essentially a written copy, because if she just grabs it and runs off, obviously we know that our notes have been taken. So
So you
Work
mean
with her.
copy it with her handwriting? That way, it's not.
No, it's because
I
Aerie
think
has.
what
I
she
guess
needs
it
is
would
to
be-
give Rogue an opportunity to essentially create a.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Well, they're all written in. It's with the illusory script. Aerie was thinking more. She gives them to Elle and has Elle give them to Rogue as
have we looked into
That's not gonna work.
Aerie's notes.
It's not going to work. we just give it to Rose, she's gonna know that something's up.
Yeah. Unless we have them on our side, but we
Yeah,
can't guarantee
that's the
that.
thing.
You could get Caspian to give them to Rogue.
He has not shown enough interest towards her.
No,
And
she's
he
shown plenty of
especially
interest
would
to
not
him,
trust
though.
an enemy team regardless of his feelings towards the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the question
You
is,
could.
does Rogue like Mackenzie at all? Or is she like, I want to...
When I say you could let Caspian give them, I'm not saying that Caspian would give them. I'm saying that you put Caspian in a
Position
vulnerable position to
have
where
them
she
taken.
would be able to.
Yeah, that was my initial thought is it would...
As opposed to any of you handing it over.
Yes.
It's more leaving your blind spot open.
You gotta
Tess
sell.
would be very uncomfortable with that position.
Yes, he would, which is exactly why it has a higher chance of working. Because they know that.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to try that?
I don't think.
I don't think Cass would want to try that.
All right. Do you want to try it with Elle?
What?
What?
Just give, have Elle be in a vulnerable position. Leave a blind spot open.
In a
Talking to
suggested.
Rogue.
Elle has no blind spot for anyone but Aerie.
Okay, well,
Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
except for Aaron.
That is true.
This is why she suggested it.
Suggested.
Yeah.
We're great at speaking English.
It's so
today.
wonderful.
Yeah.
English.
Anyway.
No, Elle is going to try and convince Caspian to do it. Because it makes the most sense to have Caspian do it.
I think if Cass were going to do it, what he would do is instead of seeking her out because that would be too obvious, he would simply keep the notes on him at all times.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
whenever she's near, he'll put like if he's got
Oh, I dropped my sword. Let me bend over and pick up my sword. Oh no, there's a piece of paper extending out of my back pocket.
It's a notebook.
Like he would make a note of like anytime she's around, trying
Someone
to
make
subtly.
a perception check to see if they could discern Rogue's typical schedule, so that Caspian could happen to be in the same place that
yes.
she's going to be.
18.
Sure.
18?
Non-natural 20.
That's
Yay.
18 was enough, honestly.
Okay, that's fine. 'Cause I did not roll high.
Yeah, y'all don't have classes, but most people have a routine. Rogue likes to get coffee at the cafe in Serrata.
Oh, then of course Elle would know because he does that every day.
She's a bit more of a night owl, so she's like
You guys
having
are
a-
opposite sides of the clock.
Huh?
They're opposite sides of the clock.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is why when Elle is getting up to get his coffee, she is leaving and going
yeah,
to bed.
basically.
Literally us.
A little bit. So it's just like, oh yeah, if Caspian happened to be studying, and had the notes out on the table as he was poring over them late into the night in the cafe.
She could just sneak on up, look over his shoulder, make some mental notes,
Well,
walk away.
they're written with an illusory script, so she would have to take the notebook.
Yeah.
Which would make... It's got layers
For
to
me-
it.
I find
Which
that
makes
as
it
an
more-
issue because they would assume that if someone's actual physical notes have been taken, that plan is compromised. We got to come up with something new. So it needs to
could
be
have
something
multiple
that's
copies
easy
of
for
the
her to
notes.
take. I mean, it's not about multiple copies of having a backup plan.
It's about the information's
if we
been-
are missing a
Yep.
piece of our plan, that means surely it's in their hands.
I mean-
they know about our plan. We can't use that anymore.
What you
Yep.
could do is Caspian speaks Elvish.
Yeah. All right.
So, as opposed to writing them, you could have a separate set of notes written not using the Emerald ink,
Okay. Yeah.
but written in Elvish, having at least one degree of security.
Yeah. So Rogue can copy the Elvish, even if she can't read it.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. We'll do that then.
So what am I rolling? A deception, performance?
I would say, Aerie, make a deception check with your wisdom, and this is to help So if she rolls above a 10, you get advantage.
And because Bardic Inspiration lasts for a while, I'm going to give that to him
Cool.
while he
Yeah.
goes out there. So.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Wow.
third
Is that
one.
that is your third one?
Was that advantage
Oh my
plus
Hey,
God.
remember
five?
how at
He's
the
on a
beginning you
roll.
said, "Oh, it can only go downhill"? Apparently not.
Apparently, I didn't. Yeah, exactly.
It's the same dice.
So
God, dice.
I'm going to allow you to roll
Give me a
3
five.
times and
Oh,
take
okay.
the highest.
Cool.
Because
What?
screw it. Like that feels only right.
Why did we laugh the exact same way?
Because we're the same person. Look, we're wearing the gray shirt.
Basically identical shirts.
Yeah.
We're sitting the same exact way. And every time we move to the same exact position.
Different font.
Alright.
Let's go. Oh, so
No, all mediocre.
With Bardic Inspiration,
Yeah.
which because of his subclass, you roll twice, take the higher.
Nice. What am I rolling?
Deception.
Deception 21.
21.
Hey.
Let me know if he needs an inspiration, because I will give it. Or no, I already have it.
Silver barbs.
Are you there?
No.
He's hiding in the corner sipping his coffee.
There's
No.
a chance the magic could be noticed.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
That's going to be a...
What is that? What is that, Trey?
It's a nat
It's
one and a
interesting is
20.
what it is.
A
Yeah.
1 or a 20,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Which makes me wonder what's rattling around in that brain of his, considering
But
some
would
things.
Rogue be on our side at the end of the day?
I'll tell you this wasn't for the insight.
It was for the stealth. So if she gets a nat 1 on stealth, that means she gets spotted. How do you play that off? How do you let
It's
them know
not
it's
just
stealth?
spotted. As Caspian, you are sitting in the cafe. I assume armor not on,
Yes.
and you kind of got the notes on the table. As you are intentionally having tunnel vision, ignoring your surroundings, you hear a clatter and a thump and feel an impact as Rogue literally stumbles into you and
She's
ends
trying
up
so hard.
sprawled, sitting on your lap. Hello.
So,
Hello. What are you doing?
I am here getting my usual caffeine. You are not.
No, I'm doing some homework. Cass will real quick snatch the paper.
I see.
Yes.
She kind of sits herself up
Yeah.
and kind of just, once she's sitting up, doesn't move.
Nice.
Cass will kind of like
not-
nudge her.
No, I'm fine.
I'm not. Well, I think I've learned my lesson. I'm going to do my homework in a far more private place.
But we wouldn't have wonderful interactions like these. And she kind of just traces a line down Caspian's, traces her finger down Caspian's jawline. Just,
I think Cass reels back a little bit and starts to turn a little bit red. Yes, because your interactions have always been so
I can
wonderful.
press a button, and she kind of bops you on the nose.
What do you want?
I tell you, but you wouldn't believe me. And then she stands up.
I don't think I'd believe anything you say. And Cass will kind of start, like, arranging the stuff he was working on.
Perception.
Oh, passive perception is 11.
Cool. As you were.
Cass will put the paper in his pocket, but try and set it in a way where it could be attempted for again. And then he'll start gathering his things, making like he's getting ready to leave.
And Rogue does just walk up to the counter, orders her coffee, and is kind of standing there. And as you're kind of just like straightening the papers, she just.
Have a nice day. And Cass will...
Have a wonderful evening.
Cass is just gonna like just stand in front of the elevator. Is there anyone else from my team downstairs?
I think
I rolled a 19 on stealth.
you would be nearby.
Yeah.
Cass will walk over to Elle real quick and hand him the paper.
Make perception
And-
check.
Perception. 17.
17. Okay. You hand it over.
What if I said Ari is watching from the rafters?
See, here's the problem. The more people are nearby, the more obvious it is that it's
Yeah,
fine.
that-
I don't expect her to have
Yeah.
high perception or insight.
Ari trusts Cass to get this done.
And Elle's holding his morning coffee. This is normal procedure for him.
Yeah.
Like, nothing is out of the blue here with him being up this
Yeah.
early.
Ari is up in the library, I think, studying maps.
Okay.
Yeah, Cass will whisper for Elle to go upstairs and just be like, play it cool, go upstairs, put it in my room, but put it somewhere that's not too well
Can
hidden.
you guys have
You
this
hear in your
conversation in
mind-
your minds, please?
You hear in your mind before you can finish the sentence, you do know that we can talk like this. You don't have to speak with your face.
Well, Cass is whispering this.
Regardless.
You know
Just
Ari
dealt
who
with
can
a
read
book.
lips. She may not be the only one.
Yeah.
Assume it when we're trying to keep secrets, use, mind communication. You can start like the conversation, but then Elle will connect you guys and you can
Okay,
finish your conversation.
how far away is Elle from Rogue?
Elle, I think, would, for sake of appearances, this would be,
He's up doing something.
yeah.
It's a good ways away. I don't even think he was in the cafeteria,
No.
to be honest.
But Cass wants to make a point of this thing.
Handing off important information.
Yes. And then
Oh, so you're done studying. Okay, my turn. And Elle will walk away.
yeah. Cass will return to the counter with Rogue.
Rogue has has her coffee now and is just sitting at one of the tables, just enjoying it.
Yeah, he will sit next to her and he will go, "You're right, I don't believe you. You're not just here for coffee.
I'm here every day. Get ahead.
I didn't say that you weren't here for coffee at all. I said you aren't just here for
I'm not
coffee."
just anywhere for anything. If you're not doing at least two things at once, then what's the point?
So what's the other thing that you're doing?
Entertaining myself.
Ugh.
Well, okay, that I do believe. How are you getting along with Mackenzie's team?
Actually, not that bad. Mackenzie's asshole.
Please insight that. Seriously. I'm not there, so I can't do it.
I don't think Cass would think to incite that.
I mean, what's your passive?
Well, my passive is 15.
15? Okay. We'll see. If there's a...
You expect.
Okay.
To be wrong.
With
Up front.
a 25 on persuasion,
Oh, on persuasion. Okay.
which I only told you which one it was because it was successful persuasion.
Yes.
Because 30 minus 25 is a DC of 5.
Yep.
Even if it was 40, that would be a DC of 15, which you
Yep.
still meet. She's being up front at the moment, at least as far as Caspian can tell. Whether or not he can't tell that. Actually, no, it's more than that. He feels like she is telling the truth.
Yeah.
Mackenzie is. God, he's an ass.
Yes,
But-
I'm aware.
I can't say that there isn't some value in doing what it takes to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not the way I would do it. But the others? No. Mackenzie's by far the worst of them.
That does sound correct.
Red is... ambitious. King... That boy confuses me. I consider myself fairly good with people. That boy confuses me.
How so?
There is... I would call him a child, but he obviously can't be. There's a degree of it feels like he was literally born yesterday.
Gullible? Or just filled with childlike wonder?
A bit closer to that, but also some childlike ego.
Ah, I see.
And I do not understand what kind of worldview could be shaped to create that. It honestly baffles me sometimes. I'm very used to figuring out what drives a person, what makes them tick, and...
Some people are less exposed to the real world.
Maybe, but at the same time, it's... I don't know. There's something odd about him. Elder is dour and prefers to keep his head down. And Whiskey... Between you and me, Whiskey is genuinely trying to be better. Not that she would ever let anyone say that about her, nor would she enjoy hearing it, but that is just my personal opinion.
Does Whiskey get along with the others?
Well enough.
See, I can't help but feel that Mackenzie shouldn't be here.
You'd probably also say that about me, though.
Potentially. I might say that about a lot of people here. Perhaps I have too high of a standard.
If it came down to it, would you lie or cheat or steal if it meant saving a life? And does the answer to that question, regardless of what it is, make you a better or worse person than someone who would?
I think if there were no other options, a life is more valuable than anything else.
That's what we're all training for. Someone who's willing to do those things in training, I don't see that as very different. It's not like the people that we go out there and fight are gonna hold back.
No.
And while Mackenzie is a right asshole, the amount of times I have seen him throw his opponent completely off guard, make people act out, abandon strategy, it works. While I don't always agree with it, I almost never agree with it, I can't deny that it works.
It works. And he's an effective soldier. But soldier and hero are not synonymous.
You're not wrong.
I suppose you have no inhibitions about following him because you are, of course, obliged. This is a requirement for you. It's not a
I wouldn't
decision.
call it no inhibitions. There are always temptations.
Cass is gonna insight that one.
That was a phrase.
That was a
Loaded phrase.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. Cass is gonna like.
Go beat red again?
He's probably gonna turn a little red, but he's going to uncomfortably adjust in his seat. I am one that would fight with honor, so I will not ask you to bend the rules. But if you decide to do so on your own, like we've determined, you and I aren't quite alike. Wouldn't quite be something you would hesitate to do as much as I would. I would like the rematch.
Of.
Our team's fighting.
Oh, well, that can be arranged.
Perhaps later. But I would have preferred if you were on our team.
So would I.
Enjoy your coffee.
Enjoy your sleep.
Cass will leave. So we'll see if that plants any thoughts in her head.
I'm going to give something that none of you as characters would witness. Eventually, you would notice that the papers that you had filed away were not the ones that were originally placed
I
down.
was hoping that's what it was. I was really hoping to throw
Before
her
you
off the
even left
trail.
the first time.
I was
However,
hoping.
after that conversation, because she was already on the fence, she looks at the plans written in Elvish that she can't even read, that she swapped from your pocket, crumples them up, and throws them away.
Was any of Mackenzie's team spying on her?
They wouldn't have been able to.
Okay.
She's too good.
She has the highest stealth bonus of anyone in the school.
That's impressive.
Would that
she-
be any different if Peril were here?
Maybe. I don't know. But she chooses to not bend the rules.
Interesting.
See, nullified the entire plan.
I did.
I will say,
Unintentionally.
no. I was genuinely really considering it, and that was just the final, and it was just like, oh, she's definitely going to.
So, because
That being said,
interact-
you as the characters, as far as you know,
She took them.
Eventually, the plans were. Now, there was never a guarantee that was going to work in the first place, but
because it was such a good roleplay moment and all that stuff, is there still some kind of benefit she can bring to the table?
Yeah, she's gonna play fair.
Fair by what standards?
By Cass's standards.
yeah, like
So it's your fault we have a fellow student that's gonna do the right thing. How dare you?
Paladins.
ruin everything.
What can I say? We're a good influence on people.
So it's not exactly.
I
a benefit,
will
it's just
give
she's
you an
not gonna be
inspiration for
doing-
that, though.
Cool. I'll take
She's not
it.
going to be doing any more sneaking behind the scenes.
That's a probably fairly likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Sneaking. I will say though,
Oh.
I'm gonna say simultaneously as that's happening. Where is Crow?
Do we have time for that tonight?
We have a little bit of time. It's just
Crow's not doing a lot of like talking and negotiating because she doesn't trust her own ability to properly obscure everything she talks about. She's overall helping with like discussing plans, being devil's advocate of giving different perspectives and showing where the weak points are. Other than that, I think she would continue to do scouting on helping the team that's like hiding our beacons, finding places for
so
theirs.
specifically though, when Caspian and Elle were doing that, what would Crow have been doing?
I'm not sure exactly. I don't know who all is
like
participating in some of
late-ish
the
night.
planning. Because like she would be having conversations with teammates about, you know, where to hide things, what plans to do, and then, you know, analyzing those plans.
I will say then, later that night, whenever she ends up back in her room,
Sure.
dum, dum, dum,
Yeah?
not your door.
She'll get up and open the curtains to see.
As Kakari is
Shucks.
kind of perched on the windowsill, wings splayed out, hood kind of drawn down.
She doesn't open the window. Not the same team.
Oh, because you actually care?
And what do you want? I'm not telling you anything. Unless you've come to confess. Share your own plans with me.
I don't trust him.
No one does. But you might still want to win.
I don't feel bad telling you that I think the plan he's given me is a false one.
Gonna make a deception check to show whether or not Crow already knew that.
Go for it.
That is, wow, that's not bad. So 14 minus 1, that's a 13.
It's a 15 on the side.
There's a twin, or rather there's a lack of twinge. There's no surprise, just like,
Which you already knew.
So what are you getting at? She will, at this point, open the window so he's not
Just
talking
that.
through the glass.
He kind of like leans against the windowsill without actually entering the room. Well, apparently my help is not needed.
Right, so piss off, bird boy.
So
Mackenzie's been telling each individual team a different set of plans.
I'm not surprised.
So far as I can tell, every team thinks they're the ones defending the flag.
Has he got false flags scattered about?
That's a good idea.
Don't take that.
As if I'm going to go the extra mile to help him.
So you theorize that he, whether his team or him alone, are the only ones who know where the real flag is.
It's a good way to make sure that it doesn't get leaked.
I figured he'd want to go find our flag.
You might be counting on that.
So where do you think it is?
Kakari has a 20 in intelligence.
That's a smart dude.
Smart bird. It's like
Two
a parrot
smart birds. Yeah.
or a cockatiel.
Yeah. He's got like hawk or owl-esque feathers.
Owl.
Owl.
Yeah. I think that he'll take whatever you assume is the plan, flip it, and then flip it again.
Reverse psychology.
Reverse, reverse.
Or something like that.
So regular psychology.
Reverse. To the left.
Whatever you figure out or think the plan is, you'll assume isn't the plan because he would leave out a fake plan for you. And you assuming that could mean that what you find is the actual plan.
Hidden in plain sight.
Maybe.
So why tell me? Why potentially cause the downfall of your side? Even if you don't like him, you're still fighting for yourselves.
Call it a soft spot. And with that, he kind of stands up and just falls backwards because he was kind of perched on the windowsill. Stands up and just and flies back to his own floor.
Whatever. She'll close the window.
You do find a little thing scratched into the window
Can I
that-
investigate it?
that you recognize as the symbol of the desert wyverns. That he may have been perched on that window waiting for you to get back for a little while and entertained himself.
You doodled on my wall.
Window, but yes.
Oh, it could be worse. Could be somebody carving into the ship.
I knew that's exactly where you were going with it. Because it's exactly where my mind went.
Yup. And as you ponder the acts of subterfuge that succeeded and failed, and succeeded in weird ways, that will be where we end tonight's session. Thank you all very, very much for joining, and we will see you next time. Good night.